What's going on? Um, Instead of trying to start with anything really, like hey guys, what's up? Or I did say what's up instead of like saying like hello and welcome or anything like that. I'm just gonna start because I don't really. I mean, I know what I want to do with this and what I want it to do and yeah, where I want it to go. But still like a facing the blank page type of thing, um, which it's like when I write scripts and or I come up with ideas for like a movie or anything that I want to write. You still have to like face a blank page at some point because I'll like come up with a fucking great idea, something so cool that I can see it all in my head, like it's just gonna be the thing, like the most coolest movie ever. And then, I get home and make coffee or anything ready to sit down and write. That's like my plan for the next 5 hours. That light keeps going out. Maybe I'll turn the brightness up on this more. That might be too bright, but we're gonna find out. But yeah, then that's my plan is to write for the next 5 hours and then I sit there and I stare at a blank page for sometimes up to an hour and then I'm just picking songs and trying to spark things and then I write and I actually get 3 or 4 pages down and then I read them the next day and they're not very good or not what I wanted them to be and then may face another blank page, but it's there's always good things that come out of it. But so doing this right now is basically facing a blank page, and I don't always I rarely talk on camera and into a mic by myself. Usually when I've done it in the past, I still have a podcast. We're trying to get the fellas back together. But we've done Behind the Front Desk podcast before, and we have 30 episodes or something like that out. So maybe you could start there, and then by the time I get a few episodes of this one out, maybe it'll actually be good, and I'll won't be tripping over my words, and maybe I'll be more comfortable, and maybe I'll have a better setup than just in the car. But I thought this would be the best place to start because it's most like best for sound. Maybe there won't be hopefully too much interrupting sound, and also just feel safer in here. It's like my own little pod right now, so it makes me feel more comfortable and sharing. Hopefully, no one walks into the parking garage, or then that might make me feel a little awkward. But we'll deal with that when we get to it. Fuck it, we ball. So yeah, the intent of this is I want to grow as a person, a creator, somebody who is able to have conversations with random people, cool people, interesting people, maybe just my friends. I don't know. I just want to have conversations and learn, and I just love talking, and I love talking to people, and so I think this could be really fun, and so that's where the basis of it is. I just think it's going to be fun, and people who already are fans of me, my friends, they'll probably watch regardless, and that's really cool because then I'm just talking to you guys, and that's really cool. And then if anything happens with it, then these episodes that I do in the beginning, where it really just does feel like I'm just talking to a couple of my closest friends, then people will go back and they'll see these beginning episodes, and then it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because if anything happens, you'll go back. they'll go back and they'll watch it later. So right now it's just for me, just for, select few people that care about my work that I don't have a lot of, but boy, I dream. And so this is kind of just trying to move forward in a sense of taking a leap towards something that hopefully will be really good. And I just also want a place. I have a lot of random ideas on a daily basis, and so my notes app is full of maybe potentially wonderful blossoming ideas and or quotes type of things that could maybe help somebody or help me. If I just say it out loud, maybe it'll finally click in my brain, and then and then good stuff will come out of that. So this is a place where hopefully I'll be able to just kind of share things that I like to talk about, things that interest me. Maybe we'll talk about running. I'm sure I'll talk about movies, as I'm probably going to in a couple minutes. I'm going to read something. But yeah, it's just gonna hopefully be fun. And I just want a place where I can kind of spew things. Sorry if I'm not looking at the camera. I'm literally watching the audio go up and down, because we're still in the early stages here, so I'm just making sure it's actually recording and what I'm saying and it's not too loud, or yes, we're trying to dial in, and hopefully it's all gonna do good things. But yeah, taking a leap, taking a step in what I think is the right direction and could be a fun direction. So I think I've rambled enough on that, because I didn't actually prepare an opening statement, which maybe I should have. But I will be. There will be lots more written statements and like essays and stuff that I will be reading, and a place to just categorize my work, share it, hopefully get feedback, and hopefully good things will pour out of this and pour into me, and yeah. So I am going to read something. I haven't read it, and I wrote it I think a couple years ago. So let me see if I can. Hopefully that doesn't stop my recording. Okay. That seems obnoxiously bright, but considering it's completely dark in here, maybe that is a good thing. Okay, so this is a script I wrote like 2, maybe 3 years ago. It was for a competition, and you would get like a prompt, like 3 things prompt of things to write on. I believe my prompt was a forest ranger, the forest, and I think genre was drama or something like that. So I think those were the 3 prompts, and then you had, I believe, 3 days. Maybe it was less than that. I don't remember. Maybe it was like 3 days or something like that to write a minimum of a 12-page short film. So God, I need to get like the cop car stand for the laptop. That was the first purchase for the pod, but we'll. Alas, we will continue. And all right, so I'm going to read this. I haven't read it since I wrote it, so it might be, I don't know how it's going to be. And so yeah, I guess settle in and let's see if what I wrote is any good. And the writing has gotten better. I want you to know that whatever this is, don't judge that on my current scripts. I have just completed one, and it's definitely a lot better than this. So just be kind, if it sucks. I might laugh out loud too at things that I wrote. So all right. Title is William. A man from another planet comes to Earth to offer an old forest ranger a chance to work again. That was like we wrote like a prompt. basically as you send it in so they can see, so they know, because they're going to be the judges or whatever, going to read 1,000 screenplays in a day or something. So it just helps them kind of get started. Now is where we really kick in. The year is 2080. 40 years ago in the year 2040, the USA defunded every project aimed at preventing climate change. This was the reaction to the news that the planet was a goner. According to numerous world-renowned... The planet was a goner, according to numerous world-renowned scientists. Furthermore, they didn't only cut funding, they started funding things that had proven to destroy the planet in the past. They went with the approach of a smoker that has lung cancer. Well, I guess another cigarette can't give me cancer because I already have it. By 2060, the world followed suit, deciding that if you can't beat them, join them. Now in 2080, the world is dying at a rapid rate. Everywhere except for a ranch in Minnesota. Exterior farm, noon. Slow motion. Lee Murphy, 80, rides a beautiful black horse across a vast green field filled with cows grazing and vibrant flowers, which brush against the horse's muscular legs. Lee bounces around in his all-black cowboy getup. A large white mustache sits upon his upper lip. Exterior, near barn, moments later. Normal speed. Lee dismounts his horse by a big red barn and leaves the horse free to roam inside the 10 acres of fenced-in land. Lee knows that if he whistles for the horse, he will be there. Interior barn, moments later. Lee walks through the barn that is filled with chickens on both sides until he stops at one and grabs 2 eggs from under her. Exterior farm, seconds later. Lee walks with 2 eggs across the lawn, headed towards his cabin home. Interior cabin home, moments later. Lee saunters his way to a black cast iron pan on the stove. He places 2 uncracked eggs in the pan. They roll around until the eggs lean up against each other. Lee strips off his black riding duster and hangs it in the closet by the door next to a green forest ranger uniform. He kicks off his black cowboy boots and finally lets his thick white hair breathe by removing his black hat. Interior living room. Lee walks up to the fireplace. An urn sits on the mantel, and inside that is Lee's wife, Penny. Lee rests his hand on the vase and utters, "Oh, what I would give just to make dinner for you one more time." Interior kitchen, dinner time. Lee returns to the eggs in the cast iron pan and cranks the heat on. Interior living room, minutes later. Lee sits in his designated chair, and next to it sits his wife's. TV light flickers on his face as he eats eggs and toast, washing it all down with whiskey. Lee watches, uninterested, as the news anchors go on and on about rescue dogs and new TV shows. The words breaking news appear on the screen. News anchor woman. We have just received this video showing what appears to be a UFO flying over Minneapolis, Minnesota. Lee sits forward in his chair. Lee's POV. Dolly pushes slowly towards television. On the TV, we see the video of a UFO flying low. News anchor man. Wow, look at that. Look at it go. Wide shot, living room. A bright flash blasts by the window. A bright object settles in the forest about 200 feet from the home. Lee calmly shuts off the TV and rises from his chair. Next to the TV rests a double-barrel shotgun. Lee grabs it. The lights from the forest cut off like a switch. Lee pulls out a chair at the dining table, has a seat, and aims the gun at the front door. A few moments later, there's a knock on the door. The sound echoes through the small cabin home. Lee pulls both hammers on the shotgun. Again, a knock on the door echoes through the home. Lee. Who is it? Voice behind the door. My name is William, and I would love to talk to you about your land. Excuse me. Lee. Not interested. Voice behind the door. It will only take a minute. Lee. Not interested. Voice behind the door. Lee. This is very serious. Lee. How do you know my name? Well, I know everything about you. Like hell you do. Voice behind the door. I can prove it if you would like. A moment pauses. Go on then. I know your wife, Penny, died 2 months ago from cancer. Close up. Lee's eyes squint with anger. Dolly pulls out from close up, showing Lee's full body. Lee fires the shotgun, and the blast blows the door to pieces. There is no one standing on the porch anymore. Lee breaks the shotgun open. 2 shells fly out. He reloads 2 new ones. You alive? Lee stands up and walks towards the door with the gun aimed. As soon as the barrel breaks the threshold, it is grabbed by a man's hand. The hand bends the barrel straight up in the air at a 90-degree angle. The man who has done the bending steps around the corner. He is young, blonde, and wearing a chrome jumpsuit. Lee backs into his home, and the man walks in through the blown-apart door. The man walks towards Lee with his hands up. The man in the chrome suit. I'm very sorry I had to do that to your weapon. But Lee, I promise I mean you no harm. Lee inspects his weapon. He chuckles. Well, damn, kid. That trick at least earns you a drink. Lee pulls a chair out for the man, then grabs a bottle of half-drunken whiskey and places it on the table with 2 glasses. Lee, sit. Drink. The man has a seat. Lee sets the gun down on the table. Lee pours them both a drink. After Lee has a sip and has enjoyed a few seconds of silence, he breaks it. What's your name? The man in the chrome suit. William. It sounded like I said his name was the man in the chrome suit. Anyways. Okay, William. What do you want? Usually I ease into this, but considering you have already shot at me, I'll go ahead and speed things up a bit. I'm from a planet that is almost identical to yours, and on both of our planets, there is not a chunk of land as healthy as your 10 acres. I have traveled 5 light years to talk to you about why that is. Now, why is it? What do you know? I've traveled 5 light years to talk to you about why that is. Now, why is it? What do you do? Lee smiles and has another sip. Lee, you're a hell of a liar, kid. Now, what is it that you really want? I'm being serious. What can I do to prove it? You say you traveled light years to get here, huh? Show me your ship, kid. William, come on. Exterior wooded area 200 feet away from Lee's home. A round spaceship sits in between trees. A few seconds later, the lights that cover the ship fire on. Close up, Lee's mouth opens and his eyes water. Can we go on it? Not yet, I'm afraid. We must go finish our conversation first. You're real. You actually came from another planet. I've been wanting to meet you for a long time. Let's go talk, Lee. Okay. Interior living room minutes later. Lee scurries around the room like a kid on Christmas morning. Before we talk, can I show you a few things? William checks his watch. We have some time to spare. Go ahead. Lee digs around in a box. Do you know what movies are? William, of course. We love your people's movies. Well, we used to. Now they are shit. Lee, they are shit now, but this one is great. Lee holds up a DVD of the movie Paul. William, oh, I remember that one. Actually, the closest you guys ever got to aliens. Oh, I remember that one. Actually, the closest you guys ever got to what aliens are actually like. Lee, really? Yes, we have normal names. We like to drink, smoke, and fornicate. We are just like you. We just come from far away. Obviously, I don't have to tell you that you got the likeness wrong, though. Lee, growing up, you were always portrayed as monsters. Sorry about that. No problem. There are plenty of movies on our planet with monsters that look just like you. Lee nods in agreement. That's why we never come. Lee, oh my God. I shot at you. Fuck. I'm sorry. William checks watch. It's okay, Lee. We must really get back to our conversation. It's getting a bit more urgent. Interior dining room. The two men sit at a table again. William slugs his drink from earlier. Lee refills William's cup and his as well. William, I have a job for you, Lee. A job? Doing what? What you've always loved to do. Being a forest ranger. What do you mean? I mean exactly what I just said. If you come with me, you will be exactly what I just said. If you come with me, you will be the sole forest ranger of a place called John's Range, a beautiful waterfall-filled forest. There must be something you're not telling me. Why travel light years to get an old man to come take care of land that is already beautiful? Like I said, your land is the healthiest anywhere. I can't begin to tell you how important John's Range is to our planet. You are the best person for the job. You keep saying that, but I don't think you understand. I mean, my beautiful wife is the reason this place is as good as it is. You may not be able to see it, but I can. I can see how the flowers haven't been as colorful since she's been gone. I can feel how the grass is sharper from drying out. Hell, I can see it on my animals' faces. We all lost our caretaker, and now it feels like we're all dying. Like I said earlier, Lee, we know everything about you. We were coming to speak to both you and your late wife. I was so sad when we received the word of her passing. She really was an inspiration to us. I chose to come speak to you because I believe in you, with or without your wife. William checks watch. Now, Lee, are you going to come with us? Lee, why do you keep checking your watch? Trust me, you don't want to know. William, I feel compelled to trust you, mainly because you seem to have known that my wife was a better person than me. I really only need one promise from you, though. Then I'll get on that ship of yours. What do you need from me? I can't leave my animals behind. My horse, cows, chickens must come with me. I wouldn't have ever asked for you to leave them. I'll just get my gear then. I've sped that up. I can't leave my animals behind. My horses, cows, and chickens must come with me. I wouldn't have ever asked for you to leave them. Well, I'll just get my gear then. Interior living room minutes later. Lee starts to pack a suitcase. He puts his wife's urn in first. I read that kind of weird. Lee puts his hand to the urn. I hope you're watching, honey. I'm going to be a forest ranger again. He surrounds it with clothes. Exterior barn, same time. William's spaceship is parked next to a red barn. William has the large ramp reclined down to the earth. He ushers the horses in, then the cows. After that, he pushes in 3 carts of chickens. Interior front door. Lee reaches into the closet by the front door and grabs his green forest ranger uniform. He packs that into a suitcase, wrapping it up around his wife's urn. Then he puts on his full black outfit in this order. Black boots, black coat, black hat. Exterior barn moments later. Lee stands with the suitcase and bent shotgun next to the spaceship alongside William. I don't know why he's bringing a shotgun with. You're next, Lee. Lee holds up a shotgun to William. Oh, I should have shut up. Lee, you will fix this, won't you? That will be my housewarming present to you. Lee tosses it to him. William catches it. Make sure it's wrapped. I like unwrapping. Lee walks past William and up the ramp. Interior storage room aboard the ship. Lee checks in on his horse, and then he takes in the fact that all his animals are coming. William walks up to him. William says, "Come, Lee. It's time to go." The two walk out of frame, and we hold on the animals for a couple beats. Interior cockpit. Lee and William step into the cockpit. It looks just like the cockpit of a 747. Lee, this is an exact replica of a 747 cockpit. William, what can I say? We have taken a couple of your guys' ideas. Does it fly the same? No. The two have a seat, The ship lifts off the ground with no sound and without William touching a thing. How does it fly? William points at his head. William, all up here. Lee, then why have the buttons? It looks cool. The ship leaps into light speed. Music cue. Spaceman by Harry Nilsson. Banger. Exterior space. The spaceship streaks through the air at light speed. Interior cargo room. All the animals munch on food, completely unaware how fast they are moving through the sky. Exterior Williams planet. The spaceship flies over a beautiful forest. A massive waterfall flows over a cliff, and a gargantuan bird flies out from behind a tall tree. Excuse me. Interior cockpit. Lee looks out at the landscape. What area is that? Well, that's John's range. Close up, Lee's face is pushed against the glass. He smiles. Exterior John's range. Lee's new 10 acres. Noon. Slow motion. Lee rides his horse through a thick, healthy field filled with cows grazing. Ginormous sunflowers brush against the legs of the horse. Lee bounces on the horse in his green forest ranger uniform. His mustache still sits upon his upper lip. Interior Lee's new home. Straight on shot towards fireplace. The camera pushes into the fireplace. When it reaches the mantle, Penny's urn sits next to a framed adoption papers for John's range. New owner, Lee Murphy. The end. Up. I don't know. It's not that bad. I think there's still some good stuff in there. They're not great. It definitely needs to be cleaned up if I was ever going to do anything with it. But I do... I had fun reading, I'm not going to lie, though. I was a couple points almost got choked up by Lee talking about his wife, but which is kind of... It's just funny. Funny that's like a thing that you can read your own character and kind of all of a sudden I start to feel a little emotional. So yeah, that was fun. That didn't sound very convincing. That actually was really fun. And yeah. So I think we're just gonna probably just stop there for episode 1. I kind of explained what this is, and this is probably just what it's going to be, which is I'll maybe open with some ideas, things, say some, funny stories. Hopefully I'll have some funny stories. And then I'll just have some stuff that I will like to read and share, and then react, and maybe that's what it'll be for a really long time. And but I'll make it good. It'll be good. I promise. It's going to be fun. You're going to enjoy it. You're going to love it. And then once kind of can get some more things in motion, maybe we'll start having some guests, and we'll have like some actual conversations, and I can we can do that as well. I've taken a lot of like inspiration of what I want to do with this from Modern Wisdom, with what Chris Williamson does, because I really like his format of what he does. And a lot, sometimes he just does solo episodes and he just talks, but I learned so much from those episodes just from what he says. And yeah, I just want to find out if I have any of the same if I have the same presence, or if I can help as well. Maybe I can reach people, and that would be really cool. And so yeah, until next time, I'm just gonna leave you with that. Bye.